My next question comes from Joseph, who's interested in knowing about the possible future for the Warner Brothers Studios' most iconic cartoon characters. As you know, the Looney Tunes have not been popular in recent years. With the new cartoons coming in 2019, do you think the Looney Tunes will ever find success again? It is interesting and also a little disheartening that likes of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Sylvester the Cat, and the Roadrunner aren't as popular as they once were. I don't even know if children are really aware of their classic cartoons these days, so I think it's important to look at what happened. Growing up in the 90s, the Looney Tunes were widely known and beloved. The cartoons were a regular staple of ABC's Saturday morning block, as well as having heavy rotation on animation channels like Cartoon Network and Teletoon. Steven Spielberg made them and their younger counterparts the focus of Tiny Toon adventures. Space Jam was a highly successful film at the box office. And of course there was the merchandising, with Warner Brothers even successfully marketing t-shirts with the characters in hip apparel. When did the Looney Tunes' popularity start to wane? The early 2000s seemed to be when it started, although Warner Brothers did try multiple experiments in order to target an audience. There was Baby Looney Tunes, which tried depicting them as cute and cuddly toddlers, which really goes against the entire appeal of the characters. By all accounts, Looney Tunes Back in Action should have been a box office success, and yet it flopped at the box office. Duck Dodgers did develop something of a following through its 3 seasons, but the ultimate nail in the coffin was definitely Lunatics Unleashed. It was such a strange idea to depict the Looney Tunes as these futuristic action heroes. I can understand the temptation, as Warner Brothers had enormous success with their DC animated shows, but the Batman Beyond aesthetic doesn't really fit with the Looney Tunes, and it's not hard to see why it was rejected by both purists and casual viewers. In 2010, Warner Brothers gave it another go with the Looney Tunes show. While the scripts did have the feel of being sitcom plots with the Looney Tunes inserted in there, it did have its laughs. Although I maintain the best thing to come out of it was the completely retooled Lola Bunny, who was made, loony, and given an actual personality. That was nice. This was also when Jessica Barutsky was brought in as the chief character designer, and she did a great job of giving the characters a new appearance without betraying their original designs. The show only lasted 2 seasons, though. Warner Brothers also produced a series of new computer-animated shorts directed by Matthew O'Callaghan, and they were incredibly well done and quite funny. They mostly paired the shorts with family fare like Cats and Dogs 2 and Yogi Bear, rather than films that a more adult audience would pay to see, like when the original Looney Tunes shorts were created. How wonderful would it have been to see one of the Roadrunner cartoons in front of Inception? Wabbit was a revival of the storyboard-driven cartoon at Warner Brothers Animation, with Bugs even returning to his hole in the ground. I thought it was a really funny series, but it was haphazardly treated by Cartoon Network. But now we have a new set of Looney Tunes cartoons that will really attempt to harken back to the classic Termite Terrace method of production. I think it has the potential to be successful if WB really puts it all into promoting these shorts. Just look at how well Disney's new Mickey Mouse cartoons have done, to the point that even creating a new ride based on this iteration of their famous mascot. Upload them on YouTube, air them frequently on Cartoon Network, and put them in theaters. And I don't just mean the family films. How neat would it be to get a Bugs Bunny cartoon attached to Shazam, or a Marvin the Martian cartoon with Godzilla King of the Monsters, or a Daffy Duck cartoon in front of It Chapter 2? Truly make an effort to expand the Looney Tunes audience. I think people do love these characters. They just have not been aware of these new productions starring the Looney Tunes, so actually market them. Now they are making a Space Jam 2, but they need to make sure it does not just appeal to nostalgic 90s kids. Start running the classic cartoons again, because a few politically incorrect jokes aside, their humor is timeless, and I do think today's children will appreciate them. I think the Looney Tunes can absolutely be popular again. Warner Brothers just has to do their part too. Thank you for your question, Joseph.